What is up, everybody? My name is Apollo Heights and you're watching Freshers Festival. Today we're going to dive deep into my time at Newcastle University. I'm going to give you some advice based off my personal experience, and we're going to talk a bit about mental health at the university. We're going to talk a bit about societies at the university, about social life, about how you can get involved with these things, about all these different facets of university life and my experience with them. So get ready. Now, the first thing I want to make clear is that I'm a second year, and so obviously that means I've been at the university for 2 years. Or coming up 2 years. And what else is important to know is that I've actually been to a different university before. Most people in my class or my year are 2 years younger than me. I went to university, dropped out, didn't really like the course I was doing, and so I've been at another university before, Surrey University to be exact. So I also have the privilege, I guess you could say, of being able to compare my experience at Surrey University to my experience at Newcastle University. So, not to try and throw Surrey University under the bus, but that does give me a way to contextualize my experiences to you guys and help you understand a bit better about all the things we're going to talk about today. First, let's start with one of the most important facets about university life, which I feel gets neglected a bit and just generally gets neglected quite a lot in our society, which is mental health and the mental health services provided here at Newcastle University. From my personal experiences, the mental health services here do a great job of supporting their students. There was a time where I wasn't going through the best of mental spaces, and I told myself, I'm not going to apply for extenuating circumstances, are they really going to help me? Are they going to be understanding of my situation? How do I provide evidence to my situation? All these things. And I left it. But I then was encouraged by my girlfriend to go and speak to these people, and I was pleasantly surprised with the response. Not only did they help me with understanding the situation, but they helped me with building evidence so that I could apply for extenuating circumstances, even though the deadline had been surpassed. So in this situation, not only were they very accommodating to my feelings and what I was going through at that period of time, they also helped with relieving the stress that situation had ultimately caused me in the months following. So overall, when it comes to mental health at this university, my personal experience shows that Newcastle really do place an emphasis on supporting their students, and I think that's really, really important if you're looking at a university to go to and you're worried about how you might be treated if you're in certain situations in life that affect your mental health and ultimately that affects your studies. It's clear to me, and I didn't always think this way, that Newcastle University do a great job of supporting these situations and helping their students. Next up, we're going to dive a little deeper into the social life here at Newcastle University, and I know this is the one that you've been waiting for. Now, Newcastle is notorious for its clubbing scene, and I'm sure that if you're into that and you really want to get into the clubbing and nightlife scene, then there will be a space for you. There are lots and lots of events going on constantly. However, personally, I don't really like to go out that much. At least, I'm going to say at my old age, but at least at the age of 22, I've kind of outgrown going out all the time. So for me, I was always searching for social life options that are outside of the traditional clubbing scene, and I have found that has not been difficult to find at all. Ultimately, I found that it just comes to your willingness to overcome your social anxiety and speak to other people, find people that are like-minded. If you want to go and join a society and develop your interests and meet people along the way, then you will find people that are like that too. Now, if you want to go and meet people that are in these spaces but also like to go and enjoy the party life, then you will also meet those people. There are all sorts of people here at Newcastle University is what I have experienced, and whoever you resonate with are the people that you will find. Ultimately, just be yourself and you will attract your tribe is what I truly believe. Now to the boring stuff. Well, at least for some of you. Ultimately, we're all here at university to better our lives and to advance our learning. Now, at Newcastle University, the teaching so far, I found, there's been pros and cons, but ultimately, I would say the teaching is pretty good. There's a lot of support for you if you don't understand things. But I must also note that at university in general, from what I've experienced, and this was at my time in Surrey too, they encourage you to take a more individual approach to learning. And I think this is very necessary, not just for university, but for the rest of your lives. So although at times you might be at university and you might think, why are they not supporting me like they have been at school? Please know that this is necessary so that you can become the person that teaches yourself, that you can then rely on yourself to learn instead of just other people. And I think that's a very, very, very underrated and important skill that you can learn while at university. And I have learned while at university, well actually before university in my life. But if you haven't learned that yet, then don't be threatened or scared when you come to university and that seems to be the approach. I actually believe that's a good thing and that contributes to good teaching, not just teaching where you become so reliant on what the teacher is saying. You know, ultimately we're smart people, we're here, we made it to university. It's about developing that and becoming people that can learn by themselves, as well as taking the support and guidance when needed. It's also important to note that a lot of the experiences that I've been talking about while at university in Newcastle, they are also very relevant and present to a lot of other universities, and I'm sure that people from other universities can relate to a lot of these things that I'm saying. So although I would definitely recommend Newcastle, you know, it's also a very nice, cheap place to live and to study. Ultimately, there are other options that may be necessary to consider and that may suit your needs, but Newcastle is definitely an option you should consider, in my opinion, especially having been to a university elsewhere and comparing the contrast between going to university in more of a secluded town such as Guildford compared to a more, not a large city, but a relatively medium-sized city, which isn't too overwhelming, but also has a nice balance between city life and access to nature. It's been very interesting to see the disparity between both, and overall, I would say if you're interested, my opinion is that Newcastle was better for me, but ultimately I would encourage you to dive deeper into what's best for you and what you want out of your university experience if you decide to go to university. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching and taking the time out to listen to what I have to say. I hope you all have learned something from my shared experiences, and if you have any questions, be sure to leave them down below. I've been your boy Apollo Heights, and thank you for watching.